No doubt that Borno State has been on steady rise on the ladder of socio-economic development, having suffered setbacks from decade-long Boko Haram insurgency. The state has continued to position itself as the most promising in the northeast region. Welcome to Borno Restoration. I'm Jessie Tafida. But first, let's bring you Borno today. Cervical cancer, though a preventable disease, still has an estimated mortality of about 40% among women in the country. Screening is known to be highly effective in reducing the incidences, morbidity and mortality associated with the disease. But that seems to have failed due to poor access to healthcare facilities in the country. But today, these 250 women are among the lucky ones to be screened free of charge, courtesy of the Victoria Wike Foundation. The women are survivors of the 12-year Boko Haram insurgency, and this gesture is expected to give them a sense of belonging.
This project is coming at this time because we saw the need to have this screening conducted in this part of the country. We understand that most of the women in this part of the country do not, or if not compelled, do not really present themselves for cervical cancer screening. So we've taken the bull by the horn to go to the communities to mobilize, sensitize, and give them the awareness on why they need to be screened.
Dr. Fatima Rahis, who is an expert, notes that the disease can be managed if diagnosed early.
It's a cancer that arises from the mouth of the womb, and then the problem is once it has progressed to that cancer, there is no definitive cure. It's just palliative. You're not even sure cause of chemotherapy, radiotherapy. So if we are able to get women early before it progresses into that cancer, because it's a friendly cancer actually, we need more specialists, and then we need more people into this cervical cancer screening program.
The attention of the federal government has been drawn to make effort towards increasing its national capacity for prevention, early detection and treatment of the ailment so as to reduce its mortality. Another visit by the House Committee on Army to the Theatre Command Operation Hadinkai. They are received by the Theatre Commander Operation Hadinkai, Major General Christopher Musa, and other principal officers of the operations. Abdul Razak Namdes, who led members of his committee on a tour of military formations in the country, decries the deplorable state of the living quarters of personnel, especially the other ranks. He discloses that the 28 billion allocation for the army is grossly inadequate if it is to be devoted to the renovations of the 138 barracks across the country, hence the need for the trust fund.
If there's anything that can be done, there should be a priority to any division. Even at the headquarters, our argument has always been place the welfare of our soldiers and men. We pray that this issue should come to an end very soon, so that all of you can go back to your normal barracks and then do other functions.
The committee believes that soldiers who put their lives on the line must be psychologically stable, and as such, the issue of welfare is to be taken seriously to serve as a morale booster.
The present 2022 budget, defense and internal security takes the highest. So in terms of provisional appropriation, but for us to do so, that's why we are here, so that you can do right appropriation.
Theatre Command Operation Hadinkai delivers an operational briefing to the committee, who commends the renewed synergy by the component of the Operation Hadinkai. The Boko Haram insurgency is creating fresh hardship for people and compounding the predicament of millions in the northeast Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad, and the Republic of Niger. Most of the people are still displaced and struggling to survive. Children have been abducted, killed, and used as suicide bombers. Villages have been sacked, communities burned to the ground, and stripped of all resources. Safe water, adequate health care, and other basic amenities are difficult to come by. Internally displaced persons, IDP camps are overcrowded, and host communities have little to offer to newcomers. But in Borno State, the epicenter of the insurgency in Nigeria and the most devastated, Governor Babagana Zulum continues to identify and respond to urgent needs of connecting children and families with healthcare, nutrition, safe water, and protection services. But his greatest commitment is to restore peace and return all internally displaced persons to their ancestral homes through his reconstruction, rehabilitation, and resettlement campaign. So far, thousands of households have been resettled in new homes built by the government as Governor Zulum's drive to see the closure of all IDP camps continue to gain momentum.
It is a very good development for us because in as much as we study the situation, we see the IDPs, they have developed resilience and we are now moving towards self-reliance. The more they stay in the camps, the more the functionality of the institutions will reduce. So it's a drive towards building on their resilience and also making them more independent because the more they live in the camps, you see the dignity is not there.
For about 9 years now, the Benki-Bama Cameroon Road has been shut due to activities of insurgents. This has disrupted business activities, negatively affecting the state economy, no thanks to the insurgency. As peace gradually returns, the state governor, Babagana Zulum, has decided to reopen the once busy road. The governor appreciates efforts of President Muhammadu Buhari through the Chief of Defense Staff, General Loki Irabo, for restoration of peace and stabilization of the state and the northeast region.
Our feel is that when we open this road, we shall sustain opening it. Give us time. Anybody who couldn't leave Banki Junction to Bama to Banki at so time will not be allowed to go. And I want to assure you that the good citizens of Borno State, the commuters of Borno State will abide by the rules and regulations that is being established by the Nigerian.
He strongly sounded a warning, especially to immigration and other sister agencies, to desist from extorting motorists and passengers plying the roads. A marching order was given by the chief executive of the state to the military to arrest anybody engaged in smuggling of goods, especially diverting the main road to the bush with food items, insisting that such perpetrator, if arrested, should be treated as Boko Haram member. For economic activities to thrive, Theater Command Operation Hadinkai, troops of 151 and 152 Battalion are saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding the roads. This is Banki, a commercial town in Bama Local Council area, which shares border with Cameroon, has been one of the epicenters of the 12-year Boko Haram insurgency. The town was sacked by Boko Haram back in 2014, and since then, the state government has made efforts to resuscitate Banki with hundreds of shelters now built for returnees. The state governor Babagana Zulum, alongside humanitarian partners, pay a visit to Banki town to support the family of returnees with cash assistance.
People of Banki have completely lost their means of livelihood. Few months ago, Banki was a ghost town, but through the support of the state government and most importantly through the support of the regional stabilization facility, we have seen the construction.
It's been a pleasure to see the activity here coming to life, the opportunities, as my colleague was saying. I see hope in the faces of the people who are here. I see hope restored, rekindled. I see energy.
Over 2,000 returnee families of Banki town in Bama Local Council have received 84 million naira as livelihood support, courtesy of the Borno State Governor, Babagana Zulum, and humanitarian partners. The fund is to enable them pick back the pieces of their lives and to contribute towards reviving the town's economy. Join me as I engage the Commissioner for Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, Mustapha Gubio, as he brings us up to speed on activities of the ministry under Professor Babagana Zulum.
Welcome to Borno Restoration. How would you describe Professor Babagana Zulum's resettlement drive, and what is your assessment so far?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Since our governor, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, MN FNSC, took over the mantle of leadership 2 years ago, he embarked on the restoration of destroyed communities with the view of resettling them back. I want to tell you that so far, His Excellency has been able to construct about 40,000 homes, including rehabilitation of existing ones and then construction of new ones. We are able to resettle about 10 communities so far, which include Baga, Kukawa local government, and there is Marte in Marte local government, and there is Kauri in Kondoga local government, and Ajiri in Mafa local government, and so recently we are now trying to resettle Manufatiri in Abadam local government area. And therefore, His Excellency drive towards restoration of Borno is beyond description. He's doing his best to see that our displaced community, as a result of the insurgency activities, were taken back to the ancestral homes so that they can now take care of themselves.
In your resettlement drive, we want to know how many IDP camps have been closed so far, and how many are we expecting to be closed?
Okay, so far, the government of Borno want to close all IDP camps within Maiduguri Metropolitan and Jere before the end of this year. We have so far closed 3 camps, which includes the Mongolis camp, the Muna camp, and then the NYC camp. And now we are trying to close Bakasi camp, Titas Village camp, and then the Gubio camp. And inshallah, before the end of December, we'll close the remaining 3 camps.
You've resettled a lot of people back to their places of abode. We'd like you to bring us up to speed on that.
Well, we have so far resettled about nothing less than 10,000 households, which account for about 20 to 30,000 individuals. And therefore, we are continuing, and some, we are trying to follow the Kampala Convention, which say that resettlement activities and IDPs relocation is voluntarily, it's not by force. We are taking them back to their homes with dignity and pride. We make sure that we construct their houses. We make sure that there is all the facilities needed for one to survive. And therefore, we are doing our best to see that we resettle our communities, destroyed communities, with dignity and pride. Most of them have the zeal to go back. They want to go back. They don't want to stay in IDP camps and in host communities where they depend on donor partners and individual and government. They want to go back home and take care of themselves as they are doing before. And therefore, it is even their decision that they want to go back, not government decision.
Recently, you and the governor have been going to local government areas to check those that are resettled. You've gone to Baga, you've gone to Malafatori, you've gone to Banki, and a lot of places. We would like you to bring us up to speed on their lives there.
You know, those are communities that have been displaced for about 10 years. It is not easy picking up lively activities there, but we have taken them back to the locations we mentioned about a year ago, and I want to assure you that they are doing better. Fishing activities have commenced, farming activities have started, and commercial activities in Banki have picked up. And therefore, inshallah, in no distant time, we will see wonders.
Now, talking about rehabilitation and resettlement, how far have you gone?
We have so far constructed about 50,000 households, which includes the rehabilitation of existing ones, and we have constructed so far about 10,000 new ones, and it is continuing before the end of this tenure. And therefore, I will assure you that all the Israeli community will be resettled, reconstructed and resettled before the end of this tenure.
Talk to us about the security situation there. How safe are the IDPs?
So far, the places we have so far resettled is safe, and they are doing their activities peacefully. We will make sure that there is peace in such communities before we even embark on the construction or settlement of the IDPs. We are working in close contact with the Nigerian Army, the civilian jet, the Nigerian police, all security operatives to see that those areas we are about to resettle is free from all sort of criminal activities before we even embark on the reconstruction, and then thereafter resettling their communities back to their places of abode. I will assure you that all those resettled communities are peaceful, they are doing their activities as normal as possible.
This work is quite massive. Now, as the Commissioner of Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, talk to us about the challenges you've faced so far.
Apart from rising costs of building construction materials, there's also the issue of transportation of building material to site, issue of labor, pain of labor. The cost of reconstruction is so costly, it's not easy, but the government of Borno is trying to see that they do their best to see that they resettle the communities, they reconstruct the communities, and thereafter resettle the communities. But I will also want to tell you that we are using the mega resources available to reconstruct those communities. It's not easy because everything needs funds. You know how the cost of building materials are in the market now. A bag of cement, which sheet had to cost 2,500 now cost nothing less than 3,300. Everything has gone up. We're trying to do our best to see that we do what is needful for our people.
What else are we expecting from you as the years goes by, as you are trying to resettle them back before the end of this year? People want to know what the RRR ministry is doing.
This ministry, apart from reconstruction and rehabilitation and resettlement of IDPs, there's also the issue of coordination of humanitarian activities, intervention that the donor partners are coming and bringing into the state. And therefore, after resettling our communities, I want the IDPs that so far we resettled to take care of themselves, apart from depending on government handouts and other donor partners' handouts. We will now want them to pick up the pieces of their life so that they can now depend on themselves. That is our zeal in the ministry, and I want them to copy that one also. All the resettled communities so far, we are also, up to now, every three months, government of Borno State is providing them with food items and not food items. The ministry is not leaving them behind. We'll continue to build their houses, we'll continue to resettle them, and we'll continue to feed them until when they pick up the pieces of their life. My message to our team in IDPs and returning communities is that, you know, it has taken time for them to stay out of their places of abode, places and their ancestral homes. Now that we are trying to take them back, they have to be patient and resilient. When they go back to their places of abode, let them be patient. It is something that have taken time. It will take time for them to now become comfortable with the environment. It is now an entirely new environment for them. It is something that needs patience and endurance. And inshallah, God willing, everything will be okay.
As you are resettling back IDPs, and you've said that starting up a new life, it's very hard. Is there anything the government is giving to these IDPs to support their livelihood?
We give them food items when they are going back. We also give them a token amount of money so that they can now start off petty trading activities. That is for those who are traders. And then for those who are not traders, I think this stepping will now take care of their small demands in the houses before they now become, before they will now start taking care of themselves. And therefore, I want them to continue to be patient. And inshallah, government of Borno State is always with them. Constantly, we have a committee, we have a resettlement committee chaired by my humble self. We have members drawn from all the ministry of the state government, Borno State. We used to pay them constant visit to see the demands in terms of need of water supply, hospital, medical activities, educational, everything. We used to visit them. And also, we also used to provide them with, as I told you, with food items every 3 months so that they can now feed them, their families.
Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of RRR, thank you for your time on Borno Restoration.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
That's our package on this edition of Borno Restoration. Thanks for watching. I'm Jassy Tafida. See you next time. Bye-bye.